So today we have Latham here, who flipped his first mobile home for $20,600 after getting done with deployment from the military. So Latham, appreciate having you here, man. Let's kick it off. Tell everyone where you're from, what your background is, and what got you interested in mobile homes.
Yeah, so I'm from Missouri, a little bit south of St. Louis, and yeah, so like you mentioned, I got back from the deployment, and me and my buddy Kenny, we've always kind of wanted to have our own business, and we started off with like landscaping and everything. We've always wanted to kind of trend towards real estate, and he's been on this kick for a while about mobile homes, and um, he was just kind of pitching it to me, and it sounded like a pretty good entry into real estate for both of us. And we started doing more research, and then we found your course and everything, and it looked like something that was very doable for us, even with like limited capital and everything. So it seemed like a good stone to get into that business, and it's been it's been nice, but it definitely has its challenges, learning curves, like everything else. But we're pretty excited. We're with where we're at, and now we kind of have a better vision for the future after our first deal.
Cool, man. Cool. So mobile homes was that first thing within real estate that you looked into. Did you look into any other types of real estate, or was it just Kenny pushed you and was like, let's do mobile homes, let's get into this?
I mean, at first I have these like books. I was looking into like doing like duplexes and stuff like that, like house hacking or whatever you want to call it. And also, I was looking at all types of things, kind of weighing out different options. But obviously, those things, uh, it's kind of a larger barrier of entry compared to mobile homes, and that was the most enticing thing aspect that mobile homes brought was the barrier of entry. If you can find a good deal, it's really there's hardly any barrier of entry as long as you have a little bit of capital. You don't really need much else because like for the rehab costs, you can pretty much finance everything through like credit. That's what we did with like Lowe's, and then we paid it off after we got paid out through the deal. So
Wait, yeah, we'll talk about that. So then let's talk about
yeah.
your first deal. So how did you find it and what made you decide to pull the trigger on that one?
So we found that one on Marketplace, and we jumped the gun a little bit, but I mean it was still worth it. The thing that kind of came back to bite us was we got we got one in a park with the lot rent being $695, and it didn't include like any utilities at all. But the reason why we got that one is because it was literally like $2,000, and the bones were pretty good. It just needed some. It had some water damage, so we resealed everything and like replaced the subflooring and
To
some
everyone listening,
drywall.
yes, he purchased the mobile home for $2,000. There's a total price for purchasing that mobile home. You can find them just like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Lot rent was 695. What's the average lot rent in your area?
Um,
Was that high for the
I,
area?
it's very high,
Yeah.
especially I mean, because the park itself isn't necessarily a nice park. Not to put any like rude words out there, but um, yeah, it just wasn't that nice for that high of a price. I would say the average is around 500 to 550, and usually that includes like something like sewer or trash. But yeah, this didn't include anything, and it's much higher than average in the area.
Were they newer owners that bought that park? Do you know?
Um, yeah, they were newer owners, like I think within the past 2 years. But I mean, they just like since we've bought it, they have all new managers from when we bought it. So I don't know. It's kind of I think the owners are within 2 years, but yeah, they just recently started jacking up the prices a little bit.
That's what you'll see too. A lot of like there's some parks that we're in and some parks that we've avoided being in where they're not nice at all because
Yeah.
new owners just took it over and they jacked up the price right away. And
Hmm.
eventually it'll be nice, but right now it's not. So people don't, it's harder to find buyers, people who want to move into the if the lot rent is the highest lot rent in your market.
Yeah.
But you still
Yeah, and
found
I get why they do that, but obviously it makes it a little bit harder of a sale because they're trying to weed out, the bad apples or whatever.
yeah, and
But
make more
yeah,
money, jack it up. So,
yeah,
which makes their business model, right? They come in. Sometimes they jack it up a little too high, where it's like it doesn't make sense for the people living in the community, but it is what it is with the park owners on that end. So,
yeah.
what ultimately made you decide to pull the trigger on it? Was it's $2,000? We know we can make a profit on it. Was that like the ultimate deciding factor?
Yeah, so we had limited capital starting out, so that was pretty much the thing because we wanted to get going and just kind of learn as we go, as we had the course, but we were pretty eager to get started because we also had some time constraints as well, so we were trying to get in the game as fast as possible, and it didn't have um, anything that seemed like it didn't have any broken windows or the roof was pretty good, so it didn't have anything that we knew was going to be a crazy cost. The biggest thing was it had a leak in like the water valve, and we had to replace that, and that was like $800. But everything else, I think the expenses came out to like I think it was a little less than $6,000, and that's not including lot rent. Because we had to pay lot rent for I think like no, most of that is including lot rent, but we had to pay like 4 or 5 months of lot rent, and I think with lot rent included, it was a little over $7,000, including the price we paid for the home.
So a little over seven
So
thousand
it was
dollars.
it was about 8,000 because we sold it for 8,000 down, which was a little bit more uh, than all of our expenses. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So a
So
little,
total
yeah.
expenses a little over seven, and then you collected a down payment of about $8,000. So now you're already in the green, which is
Hmm.
great. Like any other form of real estate, if anyone else in real estate hears this, you're like, "What the hell? How do you do that?" You're already in positive just on the buyer's down payment. That's the beauty of mobile homes, that lower price point that we're purchasing them for. So 8K down, and then 350 per month, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for a 3 year
Okay.
term.
So 350 per month now, that's passive income. You're the bank, you're not the landlord, so you're not doing anything. They're just paying you every single month. And if you stack multiple of those on top of each other, it becomes a nice passive income. Now, I know you mentioned that all of your expenses you put on credit cards, you didn't have to pay them until you got the payment back. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we got the Lowe's credit card. That's what we did because it was closer to the park. We bought the only thing we didn't buy at Lowe's was the drywall because it didn't have thin enough drywall. So we got the drywall we needed at Home Depot, but everything else we did with the credit card. And I think everything we got from Lowe's was about 3,000 or less, and we got all that. We got as much of it as we could at once because they do like deals. Like the more you spend, you can get a different percentage off. And then we just paid like the minimum until we sold. Like we paid the minimum payment on the card until we sold the house, and then we just paid it all off after we got the down payment.
Yeah. And that's the beauty. Even if you got a 0% APR credit card, this is what a lot of people do as well, where now you don't have to make any payments for the first 12 months on the credit card. So what you can do is put all the expenses on it for the mobile home. Then once that mobile home sold, boom, you pay it off. So it's like you're borrowing money for free at that point in time, which is a beautiful thing. Now, with this mobile home, did you guys do the work yourself on this one?
Yes. So the only thing we didn't do was the plumbing. We had to hire a plumber to fix the that valve that I was telling you about that was leaking. But everything else, we, like I said, we patched all the drywall because there was probably like a good handful of holes all throughout the house. We repainted everything. We redid the cabinets. We um, we redid a lot of the subflooring, and then we put in new flooring, and then new baseboards as well. And then we resealed the windows.
Were you handy prior to? Like, did you know
Yeah,
what you were doing going into it? Or did you kind of
yeah,
just
we
figure
did
it
all
out?
that ourselves. Um, I had a little bit of knowledge. My dad helped me as well. He's pretty handy, but I've done some stuff before, but I figured out most of it on the fly. It wasn't it was complicated, but it wasn't like overly complicated to where like you can't figure it out if you just try, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So okay, so every first deal teaches us something, obviously. So what did you walk away from this deal knowing that you didn't know going into it?
I learned that you need to like if you need to get into a deal and it's for sure you can make money off of it, then yes, do it. But you also need to take into account every single factor. Um, because for a while there it was concerning because it did take longer than what we anticipated. But you just have like we just have to be prepared that sometimes you're not going to sell right away, and it's good to not have unrealistic expectations because that can kind of not gonna say kill your hope, but that can kind of like mess you up in the long run because it can bring you back a little bit and maybe take away some of your drive. But if you just have a realistic expectation, you can just keep hitting your goals and keep on cruising out.
Mhm. What would you have done differently if there was anything you could do differently on this first deal?
I probably like me and Kenny, we've talked about it, and we're not gonna work in this park anymore just because of the lot rent being so high, and they're not willing to budge at all. Like I was trying to them to leverage a few months off of lot rent, like give me like 2 months off of lot rent, but they won't even do like a month because that's pretty much how they make their money is lot rent, not really the sale of the trailer itself. So the one thing that we do different is we want to find a place that we can get in there with reasonable lot rent, like 550 or less, and then um, hopefully they'll be at least somewhat reasonable and let us get like a month or two just so we can fix it all and then probably sell it before we even have to pay any lot rent at all.
Yep.
Because that would be nice. It was kind of starving us out having to pay lot rent each month. It was just it was getting a little bit overwhelming. So
They're
avoiding
getting
that.
they're getting a place where it's not the highest lot rent in the market, community where
Yeah,
yeah, got it, got it. So you mentioned that the tools and trainings inside the academy helped a lot. Like, what specifically stood out to you or made the biggest impact when it came to helping you with this deal?
one thing that was pretty nice. Like I said, I bought it for 2,000, but it was listed for 4,000. So I was able to get it for half off essentially, and it just gave me the course itself. It just gave me knowledge and like confidence to kind of know what I'm looking at before buying it. It just gave me confidence to buy because before, like without the course, I probably would have second guessed everything. Because some things without the course, I wouldn't know how much it would be to replace it, or if it is a big deal, like a red flag where you don't want to buy it at all. It kind of helped me like discern things when looking at a potential home to buy.
And like you said, having that confidence, even to purchase the deal. A lot of times people don't have the guidance. They'll look at a deal, they'll look at 1,000 deals and never end up making a purchase. You guys got into the real estate game, made your purchase, got your deal done. You're already so much further ahead than people that have even been looking into real estate for the last 5 years and haven't done any deals yet because you had that confidence going into it and you guys took action, which is amazing. So would you recommend this business to other people transitioning, whether it's from the military or just from the 9 to 5 life?
Yeah, for sure. If if they're willing to like, um, it's like common saying like no one cares as much as your career or your business as you do. if you really like um, just invest your time in it and just try to be smart about it, I think anyone could profit from it. You just gotta really set yourself up to not get shot in the foot, you know, because there are a lot of things where you can kind of screw yourself, but if you're just smart about it, then it's not really that hard to make a profit.
100%. So then for anyone
Yeah,
watching who's thinking, I don't have a real estate background, I'm not sure if I can do this, what would you say to them?
I would say like find as many people as you know, like George. It just gives you more confidence because a lot of guys will say like I didn't really know what I was doing either, and I now look at where I'm at. So I would just say just find people that do know what they're doing because it's really not a huge. It is a learning curve, but it's not a huge learning curve to where it takes like a certain level of like intellect to figure it out. I think anyone could apply themselves and figure it out, you know.
As you mentioned, skipping the trial and error by having people that you can ask the questions to, those who have done it before you. Awesome, man. So now that you got your first deal under your belt,
Yeah.
so now that you've got your first deal under your belt, you got some cash flow flowing it coming in. What's the next step for you?
So right now, Kenny's in school and I'm working pretty. I have a pretty busy work schedule, so because we're just going to build up our personal income, so that way we don't. Once we go back at it another round, we won't have to worry about our funds getting as low as the first round. And like like in the meantime, we've been sending each other different deals that we think are decent. Just kind of staying fresh with it, you know.
Mhm. What are your goals for the business? So what's your goals when you fully attack? Like, what are your goals for it? Are you looking to really build this up so you guys are focused full time on this? Are you looking to get a bunch of rent or seller finance deals so you have that cash flow coming in? What are your objectives here?
So, I mean, our goals really haven't changed. Getting into this before we even got the course, our main goal was to get like to have our own park, and just have it cash flow. That's our biggest goal. But yeah, I'm not gonna speak to Kenny because he has a lot of aspirations. He has a lot of different business ventures that he's interested in. But this one in particular is probably the one I'm most interested in because I know that it works. I've seen it work firsthand. So this is probably what I'm gonna do full time, and obviously me and Kenny we're gonna work together. But yeah, this is once I can get my like personal stuff figured out and got all focus on this. This is what I'm gonna focus on for sure.
Sweet, man. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to hold you accountable to these goals that you have set for yourself. So over this next year, over the next 2 years, see exactly where you're at with this business and where it takes off to. Appreciate you for getting on, man, sharing your story. It's real, it's powerful, especially for those who are just getting started. And if you're watching this and you want to learn how to flip mobile homes or start building passive income just like Latham, check out the free training that we have in the description down below, in the comments down below, and book a call if you're ready to get started with us. Latham, again, man, thank you for getting on and thank you for sharing your story.
Yep, for sure. Appreciate it, man.